What's going on, Black America, Black Negro, YouTube, whatever the fuck y'all call yourselves these days? What's going on? Welcome to the late night part 2 of a discussion where we'll be having a discussion whenever people get here. But for those who do get here, they get to start setting up their strategy and start explaining their talking points. It's only fair because you're the first on the battlefield. That is what my teacher and my captains and my commander would say. If you're the first one on the battlefield, what's going on, brother? If you're the first one on the battlefield, you get to set the traps. You get to lay the battlefield how you see point. Is that not true, SKC?
That's how it goes.
Because you're the first one there. We cannot go by color people time. That's why you don't get the job. You don't get the job coming in there last and then saying, I should still get the job. No. You get there on time. Get there on time. It could possibly, or actually you don't get there on time. You get there before time. Actually, that's what I was told. You show up 15 minutes early. Because then you never know that, and I had that happen to me before. So the discussion that's coming up is literally on, can ADOS, let me make sure I read it correctly, but I had to think it out properly. Can ADOS run America without white America? Is that possible? Is that something that we can do? And we have one of the traitorous Coons, the Benedict Arnolds to the black community, the one who sold us out, the one who has left doggone Big Booty Brenda, Sharkeisha, and all of our Nubian goddess queens. And he has left us and gone to the land of milk and honey. Some days I get jealous and I curse him as he drives his car down a beautiful, safe neighborhood with his children laughing, talking about trigonometry, when he should be talking about the latest rap songs coming out. His favorite mantra is burn the community down. Ladies and gentlemen, calm down, brother. Calm down, brother. Brother Nubian, he's not that. He's not a threat. He's not in the community. He's not a threat to us. So, the Most High Coon, I ask you, can ADOS run America without white America?
You know, it would only make sense for me to be very dogmatic and to say the obvious answer to it. But instead of doing that, I actually want to piece together a good argument instead of just being dogmatic, so that those that want to at least consider basic logic can do so without just having hatred for just for my stance or just the name Coon or whatnot. I mean, for the most part, a lot has to be considered when you think about government in general. There's a lot of working parts, and at the inception of this country, there was about I want to say about 75 to 90 years of back and forth between Britain and the colonies.
We were kings and queens. What are you talking about? We're kings and queens. So naturally, it's in our blood to rule.
Yeah, but you still need a written code because we're not talking about a small tribe of a few hundred people. You're talking about millions upon millions of people. So you have to have some sort of written code in order to be able to enact law, to have some sort of legislation. Of course, if you want to pattern yourself after the government that is now, you will want to have a judicial system, and then also an executive branch. So there's a lot that has to be put in place first. And if you just take individuals away from America by just going on the whole thing of just, oh man, white people are gone and we have free reign. Well, no, there's a lot of things that you would need to educate individuals in order to keep things afloat. On top of that, you'll need a lot more people. But I'll digress for the moment. I'll let you have a little bit more at it, BMT.
I got you with that. You see, I've been part of this government for quite some time now, about 8 to 10 years. And I understand that there are different cogs that run the clock that is America. And what I see is when I hear people saying that we will one day rule this world, this land, this country, I say start out with your community first. Start with your school district. Because you gotta understand there's policies, there's laws, bills that have to get passed. And if you can't get people in your community to follow your code, don't turn up to music loud, those are HOA rules, I'm not sure if you ever heard of them, or keep this area clean, bringing in resources. So that would mean you'd have to be able to keep viable business coming into your community. That would mean you have to have some type of ownership. And when I hear that we're talking on ruling, ADOS ruling over a whole country, well, that's a whole bigger ladder step. Because that would mean that all hands on deck.
Well, to interject there, I agree with you, but I think it has to start at even a more smaller unit. There would be the obvious thing of saying, you know what, okay, we have families, right?
That is true. First form of government is the family.
Right. But even beyond that, I think when it comes to, with the whole thing of, Black American and Black people and so forth, they need to even start even before that, just so far as being able to have open communication between the sexes. I mean, that right now is damaged. So heck with just having a family. How about getting along with one another, as Obsidian says?
So wait. Are you saying that the Black man is having a problem running his queen?
That's just a given. So I know, like, you have in the chat the dude, what's his name, Brother Nubian or whatnot. I mean, if you just think about it, you have at this point right now, where you have Black men and women who can't even get along with one another, on a basic friendship level. It's not even getting to the part of building a family. That's that's like been gone for decades, and is continually to go down the drain. So how can you even consider family stuff in country when you can't even do the basic thing of just get along?
Well, SKC, if I, as a Black man, if I run the country, and if I rule this land, I can make up laws where I can check that Black queen back in my good graces. I can pretty much make her, yield to me. She won't want any other man. And because she's always been loyal to me. It's just been that white man that always come between me and my Black queen.
Nah, bro. See, what the problem is that even with all those people out of the way and gone, you're still going to have individuals that are going to be fighting as to what should be law, what should be how things should be governed and so forth. And nah, it's like even right now, it's like you're not gonna be able to get along with each other in order to accomplish that. And I agree with L Ghost. Same thing. I'm, SYSBM. There you go. That's your answer.
Well, you know what I gotta say towards that? I have a song that my pro-black sisters need to hear to rivet y'all spirit. I got this for y'all. She's your queen to be, a queen to be forever. That is for all you queens that I still worship the ground that you walk on. But I know that y'all never betrayed us to be with that white devil man. But you're still waiting for us black men to step into our rightful place as the Nubian gods of the earth. Shalinka salam, Shalinka salami. Most high.
And I know we're kind of waiting for what's the lady name?
My queen,
the other guy. I forgot his name. Derell, something like that. But it's if you think about it, the arguments that they presented yesterday, so far as the original man and all these ideas about white supremacy and all of that stuff. Did you ever notice that they found it difficult to even agree amongst themselves when it came to dates and times and how things got started, or any of that stuff?
That's because the white man took our history from us, so we wouldn't know everything. Why do you keep on protecting this white man?
So it's just interesting to me that on their end, a lot of times they'll have all the answers about the pseudoscience and incomplete history, um, the major scheme of white people and all this stuff. But when you start to peer inside of, hey, can you give me some links? Can you give me some accurate information? Um, let's look at some peer-reviewed journals and writings and so forth. All of that goes out the window. So it's just, to me, it seems to come off as the typical hotel community nature boy type of stuff, where you just have to um, trust in the ancient sayings of the ancestors. So, but it's nothing concrete.
We have somebody who says, shout out to brother Nubian. It is written that we will come out with great substance and rule here after these demons that he worships are taken out of power. LOL, coming to America. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Okay. So my so my question to brother D Nubian would be, where is this written?
Listen,
Where is this written? And who wrote it?
we hide it from white supremacists and we keep this from Coons so that way they can't touch our black Bible. Because y'all
Is this like Star Wars? There's like an ancient prophecy about the chosen one or something. I mean, that's what this is.
We protect our black children from you mongrels and all of you beasts. We keep our black children safe. What is so funny?
You said you beast. So that's another question I want to pose. Maybe the brother Nubian can answer it for me. So if these people were the original people and they had all of this knowledge and systems of understanding this and that and so forth, how were they overrun by some beast?
Excuse me, come again. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
Well, they say, that white people and all these other races of people are not uh, actually part of the original race of people and all of this stuff. So, and they supposed to have come from caves and all this other stuff. Okay, so how were they able to overrun a society, a original race that created everything?
Hmm.
Did they
Well,
outsmart you?
we were cursed by God. We were cursed by God. That's why we were cursed by
Why?
God.
So what was this curse about?
Well, this goes back in the Bible. If you read our Bible, it says that in the Negro Bible that if a man was attacked by the devil and pretty much lied, and also Noah and something about drinking and nakedness, and we were cursed because we're black. And
So basically you did something bad then.
my ancestors did. I don't know what scripture, but
Right. So
it's in the Bible.
so
These
you
devils.
weren't deserving of whatever grace that is. You didn't earn it. You lost favor.
We didn't lose. We didn't lose. We still are fighting. You chose to give into white supremacy. We chose to keep fighting. And see, that's the thing about it. I still fight for my people. I still
Okay.
fight for my people. I
So,
sold dope.
so brother D Nubian says that these were things inside of us. So um that means that you're inherently evil then. You brought this on yourself.
Uh, he said, I don't believe we were cursed. These devils were inside of us and had to be manifested.
Right. So that means that this is all your problem. You started all this.
Well, I don't want to say all that because, look, when it comes to, let's be realistic, man. And I told y'all, when it comes to black people running this country as of late, we're far out of that pipe game dream. Because when we honestly let's be for real, man. When let Black Friday come around, which was let that come around. They know how you Negroes get on Black Friday. They know that. Let tax season come. That is probably the most time where y'all claim y'all goddamn children. Don't let there be an interracial relationship. God damn, boy, y'all you lose your fucking mind. But one thing we understand in the black community, you have not been able to check that bitch. And I mean, I'm talking about that black bitch. You haven't been able to check her. She don't listen to you. Hell, she's done passed more laws without you.
I know,
So
right? He said it'll be in Japan for Black Friday.
I mean, let's be for real, man. So okay, so let's say because we've heard, and I could pull it up. People say Martin Luther King, even after him and so many other people have fought and passed for y'all to get civil rights passed over. Y'all called that man a sellout.
You know something that is a very um interesting subject now that you bring that up.
Mm-hmm.
Because what that tells me is that you have in a lot of individuals that they carry around this mantle of being, oh, we're for our community and all of that garb. However, they haven't read anything, because if they had, they would understand that their idea of MLK is very much so off. He was actually a lot more aggressive than Malcolm X ever was. I'll go ahead and explain. While Malcolm X had all of these very strong words to say about white America and all of that and so forth, the majority of his tours were in the North, while MLK was actually in the areas where people were getting hung in the deep antebellum South, saying his stuff and going out and marching and so forth. Another thing, they'll say that MLK was like a huge integrationalist. Okay, I'll give you that to some degree. But at the same time, as soon as Malcolm X went to the Middle East and found what Islam was really about, from that point on, he integrated himself into the greater Muslim community of the entire world, which is made up of various races. So people have this opinion of, oh, I saw this picture of Malcolm X and he holding this rifle in his house and so forth, and he looked so militant. Yeah, that was up north, where people were already free since the days of slavery and so forth. There was a bit more of covert racism, but it wasn't like in the South where MLK was for the majority of the time.
Yep.
Another thing that those people don't realize is that they have this view of, oh man, Martin or MLK wanted you to just basically lie down in the street and just let people beat up on you and so forth. But they didn't understand that he was using the strategy that Gandhi had already proved, that since the world was becoming more of a community after World War II, with the UN or the League of Nations at that time, nations were basically having a war of wits with one another to see which one could be on the greater moral high ground. And by not doing anything in the face of different racist attacks and so forth, he was able to utilize international power to basically show, hey, we're being attacked, but the international community is actually going to be the ones that punish America, because they're not going to have the power of leverage that they were using within these different diplomatic discourses with the rest of the world for trade and commerce and so forth. So it was actually hurting them in their pocketbook, but you had individuals that were too dumb to recognize what was actually going on.
I think one of the things about it, because I remember I had a talk with Cynthia G in Irene. And in having that talk with them, they were talking about how that if we were to militarize, that people would come and fight alongside with us, that we will have allies in South America and all over that will join and bundle with us and help us fight.
That's a pipe dream. That's a fantasy.
Why would you say that?
You would have to have resources in order to give those places. You would need to have some type of leverage with them, and because nobody is going to just fight for free. That's dumb. If that was the case, then if by out of any country that would have the reason to do so, that would be West Africa, and they haven't done anything.
Well, we have the money. We have $1.3 trillion of spending. Why haven't we taken that money and used it?
Because you're divided. Even the men and women don't get along with one another. So how are you going to accomplish anything? You can't even build families.
See, I have this thing Whereas to, and I want to tell y'all this truthfully, I would never collectively give a lot of you niggas who are not putting in the same type of effort I am no fucking check. I'm gonna just tell y'all right now. Rule one of helping those who need help. You don't just give them money. You actually put them to work. I mean, let's be for real, man. How many of y'all have actually helped out a crackhead? Give a crackhead $5. How many of y'all actually giving money to those who are destitute and just to see that it becomes something else?
I'm reading his comment. It's not the whole idea of already knowing about the white Muslims, but after his second trip, he actually accepted that the NOI had a bastardized idea of Islam, and he accepted the greater community within the Muslim faith worldwide. At that point, when he did so, he became linked with a lot of individuals of various races from all over the world.
I would ask the question, why? I'm going to ask you a question, SKC.
Go ahead.
Why do you not embrace, as successful as you are, as much things you got going on for you, why do you not embrace being a pro-black? You literally have everything. You're literally what we push for. You could be the son of being pro-black. Why?
It's easy. Well, first, the term is redundant. You are what you are. You don't have to take on a title to promote what you are. That doesn't make any sense. Second of all, when you start looking into science, and also if individuals really did read the Bible, you can't bypass various scriptures that show that God is impartial to he's not partial. And then when you look at science, we're part of a one race, human race. That's it. I mean, the distinctions of black, white, all of that, different things. All you have to do is just open up a crayon box and you'll see that there is no person that is black. There is no person that is white. There are imaginary lines that are placed on borders that they're kind of like state lines. They do not exist, but on a map. That's it.
Now, I feel like you're not giving our black brothers and sisters their due credit as they should have for those who are actually out there in the streets today fighting for your black ass. Why is that?
You repeat the question one more time.
Why aren't you giving the credit to those who are out there in the street fighting for you? Those who have formed their lives and stopped doing stuff and literally are giving their lives towards you and your black empowerment.
Okay, so when I go to Gettysburg, I see a cemetery full of white dudes that bled, died, suffered, and so forth, and that went to the benefit of black people. Also, go back in time, you look at Quakers. A lot of them did a lot of things that protected and aided slaves to have a lot of the freedoms that we enjoy today. Actually, in order for them to hold that position, they had to go against the very country that they resided in, and it ostracized them in a multitude of ways. They had communities that are still significant today in Pennsylvania, where people knew that slaves were getting away and they were being silent about it. So just as they would say, hey, why aren't you giving credit to this um, uh, guy that's on the street that's talking about white supremacy and so forth? Well, they start to give and acknowledge all those other people that did work as well. Then I'll acknowledge them.
Now, the thing about it is, I've heard that they say that the blacks back then had now who are alive now and older have become docile to the white man. That they are comfortable with being under the white man's heel. Ever since doggone integration, that's the worst thing that could have ever happened for black people is being integrated. Do you agree?
No, I don't agree at all because from the time you came over here on a boat, you were already integrated. The proof in that is your ex profession as a soldier, right? BMT.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so as a lot of people would easily jump to say, you know what? There's never been a conflict in this country in which there were not black people that served as soldiers. Okay, so how are you in every conflict that has ever happened on the in this country, but we're not integrated?
Hmm.
You served in the armed forces in every battle, in every major war that took place in this country, but you were not integrated. Hmm.
Shit.
I find that odd.
You know, it's hard for me to want to buck at you for saying that when I have lost over 137 men. I have put my rank on the line and my freedom on the line for people I did not know. And I have been told multiple times that I am doing that for the white man. And I always ask, did the people who fought for you, did they think the same thing? Because the stuff that y'all say is very, very egregious. I hope y'all don't think that the only people out there that were fighting and marching and doing things were just black people. We're just black people. I like I said, I've been called all sorts of things, but never have I been called so much by my own people. By black people have called me more things outsourced by my own people.
And you know something, BMT? There's a comment that's in the that I think this is your brother D Nubian. Again, he says human is a species, not a race. Okay, so let's see if this will pass the acid test. Um, if you would, if you could do a share screen.
Yes, I would. I will gladly do a share screen, sir.
And we're not going to do the simple model of going to, the Google dictionary and so forth. No, 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 no. When you get to Google after you share your screen,
Okay.
um,
I'll share. I'll share screen.
okay.
Okay. What do you want me to do? Click on just click
Just on,
towards
just on your Google, your regular Google search. I want you to just type in 1913 dictionary.
1913 dictionary.
Yeah.
I like learning. 1913. Sorry, I gotta put down my dog because now I have to actually do some work.
Actually, one of the most profound and purest dictionaries available.
Here we go. We're at the 1913 dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go ahead. Wow, it is really old. What is that? A Bible?
And you're gonna go to all, of course.
Mm-hmm. Webster 1913.
Yeah, but
Fun fact: did y'all know Webster is black? I did not know that.
and you can go there. That'll work.
Mm-hmm. And what would you like to put in?
And type in race.
Wow, oh, this is very interesting. I gotta come here more often. Ooh. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a word.
Okay. Now, notice here that the very first one, the descendants of a common ancestor, a family, tribe, people, or nation, and notice what it says there: believed or presumed. This came before the UN did its UNSECO, which is the science division of the United Nations, and they made a determination based upon all scientists from all over the world that humans belong to one stock. But even if you want to use this determination, where did it come from? Shakespeare. And what does he say? The whole race of mankind. So even back then, it was understood, even in the days of Shakespeare, that the entire, or that all of mankind is all but just one race. So that just
Wow.
throws out Brother D. Nubian's whole idea of human is a species, not a race. No, for the longest time, it has already always been understood that mankind is all but one race.
Wow. Now, there is something that's always been brought up. And I want to talk to y'all about this. I want to talk to y'all about this very interesting. Do y'all see all these men right here that sit alongside with me? Just here. This is one of my old units. I used to protect the border with. You know, I would say at least about 700 people would come through that border a day. 700 people is a lot to keep track of. I think I can do pretty good. I remembered up to 300 names. The thing that was interesting about it was when we put on that uniform, there was no such thing as white or black, Asian. There was your race didn't matter anymore. To those people in his country, you were just an American. Your race no longer mattered. That was it. Anything else, it was pretty much pure insignificant. And as I took time, but I know a lot of y'all gonna say, well, it's the military, Joe. They brainwashed you. No, they didn't. I understood. But one of the things about it that I found very interesting was as I started traveling around and seeing different people, because I would always hear black people are the most superior race in the whole wide world. I'm pretty sure you heard that, SKC. Black people are superior. And I said, why aren't black people in the cold regions of the earth? Why aren't black people up there? If we're so superior, I should be able to adapt to the cold areas. And you know something that this older white man told me? And I thought him were racist a long time ago. And they said, well, Joe, you can't be that dumb. You know damn well your pigment does not allow you to retain heat. So whenever we go to the mountain regions that are cold as fuck, you're going to freeze faster than we do. And I was like, that's one of those black properties. He said, no. Why do you think that we always have the black guys in the vehicle for the most part? Because we know that you can succumb to hypothermia faster than we can. So they weren't being racist to me. They were trying to protect me. Versus when it was the heat, I was more so out there doing more of the route clearing because I knew that these guys were more susceptible to the heat. Hence, if you notice, a lot of the darker skinned people are wearing more heavier gear than the white people because the heat didn't bother us as much as it did them. That's don't get mad at me. You can go talk to a scientist.
And yet, I'm not a soldier. My grandfather was in the Navy, but I think you would do well to look up who Matthew Henson was.
Matthew Henson.
And why there's an exploratory ship that's named after him.
Now, Matthew.
And you're right, anti-gravity. Yeah, that's exactly what occurred. I'm just looking in the comments.
Well, what happened? What happened? I kind of missed it while typing away.
Yeah, we're looking that up. It's his name is Matthew Henson, Henson, and yeah, you probably would love that story.
So I'm gonna probably go. All right, so let's go click over here. Again, you guys, I want you to understand this. When it comes to black people, and we talking about running white, when y'all talk about stuff about black people running the United States, I'm like, good luck, dude. The mechanics and mechanisms of how this country is formed, mind you, this country is literally built on integration. This is the only country that is heavily built on integration. Keyword, the melting pot, where anyone and everyone can come here from nothing and become something with hard work, ingenuity.
Did you ever know about Matthew Henson?
No, I would like to learn something about him.
Yep.
Who is this black man and why is he wearing that?
Mm-hmm. And you see the date, 1906.
Yes.
Isn't that before the Jim Crow era? Isn't that right after, basically a generation after slavery?
Yes.
So how was this black man able to get on an be an explorer all the way to the Arctic and be the first one to the North Pole? How is that even possible?
Hard work, determination. He forged and made his own destiny. When
Then, like I said, even today, there's, he won lots of medals and different things of that nature and so forth. There's even a ship that is named after him that is commissioned in the U.S. Navy right now. But on top of all of that, when he went to Greenland, yeah, he had a native wife there. So yeah, that's a 1906 SYSBM, bro.
really.
Mm-hmm.
So let me get this straight. So this man, on his own free will, against all the odds of how, despite his color, mind you, from the Bronx, he died. Yep, Bronx. Yeah, he claimed the first. Yep, this man has quite a resume under him.
He had no formal education. a white sailor took him underneath his wing and taught him. Because
clearly that was slavery. He was some slave child.
oh no.
Oh, guess he was in Maryland. My bad. The one who shit. Now the thing about I see. Oh my God. Yeah, that's his education. Is Harvard. How did he get in there? Why are they allowing black people in Harvard at such? Wait a second. Hold on. Whoa. When did Jim Crow? When did Jim Crow end?
See, now you got to go over to what the other Coon says. Thomas Sowell, who actually grew up during that time, and who gives evidence to show that yes, there were a lot of um, uh, individuals, the level of education that was given to black people, even in segregated schools, was much superior to what is being done in a lot of schools today.
You gotta understand. The only reason why they allowed these Negroes in the school was just to allow them just to go there, just to say, look what we did. We took a Negro and put him through school. Of course. That would make more sense.
Look at the first name of his son. Is that a you said where it says children there?
Yeah.
Is that an American name? Is that a black name?
Damn, I wouldn't even know how to say that name with the correct tongue.
No, that's a Greenlandic name. But according to pro blacks, he shouldn't have never done that.
And I gotta say, guys, he's an African American. He's an African American. So, y'all, listen, man. The stuff that we say, listen, man. I've been to the base of Mount Everest. I've done traveled around the world. I've done seen and danced and sipped on different wines, just like SKC. I found it very interesting when y'all say y'all want to rule the world. Black people, you want to rule. You want to rule the America. I don't know how the fuck you gonna do that. Because literally, no offense, but you don't run shit in America, realistically. I know y'all think you do. I really know some of y'all think you do. But I can tell you right now, man. It's not. It's not. It's
you know something. I read a really interesting article. It was on Medium about 3 months ago. Thought it was fascinating. A really an investigative reporter. He one of my favorites. He put some work in there. He's a black guy. He covers a lot of things, but he talked about how a link between what I'm passively watching now, which is baseball, and the lack of it within the black community. Because just less than 100 years ago, you had Negro leagues, you had some of the most talented baseball players, that are in the Hall of Fame. Jackie Robinson, even all up to like Hank Aaron and so forth. But he showed that there was a link between the decimation of the sport for black people because of the lack of fathers. Because inherently, baseball is a father-son sport.
Yep, it is. Actually, a lot of them spend a lot of money. That is when my first time going to the Boston Red Sox game, you know how many fathers and sons and fathers I've seen bring their kids there,
Yep.
sit on their shoulders or sit in there and ball. There's a reason why they call it the American pastime. There's a reason why it's called American pastime. You know, I'm just showing y'all an old clip of us as soldiers out there in the woods just fighting each other, you know, just fucking around and shit. And the thing about it is that, now mind you, clearly those white people are forcing us black people to fight when there's nothing but a bunch of Negro soldiers out there in the woods beating each other up and just having a good time. So I don't know, somehow white supremacy is making us fight each other. But y'all gotta understand, man. For a long time, and these are all my brothers, all my sons. I love all of them. I got to bring some of them back home. And the thing about it is, the narrative that a lot of these people place out here on social media about some of us are infatuated with this white supremacy is very scary, very interesting. Jesus Christ. I don't know why he didn't flip his legs. And the problem is, y'all have a right to choose your own destiny. You have a right to get your shit together. You have a right to actually step up as men and be your own designers of your own fate. SKC did it. Did any white man keep you out of school, SKC? Any white man try to stop you lately?
Nah, actually, it was the exact opposite.
Now, what do you mean the exact opposite? Why? What do you mean? Now, I mean, but I want to know, what do you mean the exact opposite? You mean you probably spoke well the king's language?
Well, ever since I was a kid, you know, I went to. I will say that I did go to predominantly white schools, but I never had issues there. The main issue that I had was when I returned back to the neighborhood, because you know, a kid with private school clothes on and little jacket and so forth, it's like you stick out like a sore thumb, and then everyone is, you know, just basically accusing you of this or that. Oh, you think you're better than this? And like, no, I haven't even said anything. You know, so, yeah, it's the push was towards not achieving anything, being mediocre and trying to fit in any and everybody else instead of having the courage to say, no, excellence is a good thing. Even if that leaves people behind, that it just leaves them behind. But within the community, I mean, the big push is to do whatever you can to try to fit in. To give you a instance or a example of that, you can just look at the movie Boys in the Hood. There was no reason why Trey should have ever been hanging with them boys at all.
Really?
They weren't his friends.
You know, question: did Trey's father put him in that predicament to be there? Did Trey's father set him up to be there in that type of setting or area? But I want us to one day break that down.
I don't know. I think probably a good person to chat with about that would probably be a Game Changer, because he does the breakdowns of certain movies and so forth, and especially when they're linked to like Black culture and so forth. But to me, I just think of the whole idea of just from an overview. You just look at the entire outcome of the film and the interactions. What did those dudes ever do positive for him at all?
Well, one of the things about it that, and I remember
there was no benefit for him to ever be in a relationship with those guys at all.
Okay, so hang on. So brother Nubian says, and brother Nubian, if you would like to come up, you're always welcome to come up, brother. You're always welcome to come up. We do open the open panel. So, like I said, we're not sure where the hell our guests are at. But El Ghost, they'll say, I committed suicide. Like they say about 90% of black people hanging, and the devil will go on to kill more innocent blacks.
I have a question about that to Brother Nubian and D Nubian and others that feel that way about, today, but more so in the past. If white people were that murderous and that, devilish and so forth, why didn't they just kill us all? They had the power, they had the country, they had the weapons to do so. Right after slavery, why didn't they just say, okay, this is too much of an issue. We didn't have too many people of our people that have died that we had to bury and so forth. Let's just get rid of these people altogether.
And granted, I get that. Dave Chappelle, not Dave Chappelle, what's the guy's name? Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby's lawyer said if Bill Cosby was raping that many women, as y'all say he did back in the day, it would have been more easier to get him for rape back in the day where you did not need to have proof. Notice she said you did not need to have proof.
Yeah, all you have to do is just say, hey, this black dude did this, and that would have been it.
That would have been it.
I mean, it was in the thicket of civil rights, right?
Pretty much, yes.
You had Black Panthers and junk being killed, right?
Yep.
So, who was Bill Cosby? He wasn't that big at that time.
Yeah, I think the thing about it, I think when it comes down to it, and this is the thing about it, man. You had Colin Powell, Condoleezza Rice, you had Barack Obama. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all don't know who y'all black elected officials in positions right now. I'm not sure if y'all understand. Like, let me say it like this: you can get in more trouble for saying something to a minority at work, and they will take that minority's case because nobody wants to take that chance anymore. Hang on. Oh, that's Deity.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Deity. Late as fuck. I get, but colored people time.
I didn't get no link, so
I do not listen. Then make sure you give me your email. Make sure you give me your email, so that way I can directly email you. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I get your email. Make sure you drop it to me in the back chat. All right. So that way you can just come on your own. I even had you a song because I praise you and I worship the ground you walk on. I praise you. I even got you a song, girl. It's a song for Deity. She's your queen to be, a queen to be forever, a queen who'll do whatever His Highness desires. She's your queen to be, a vision of perfection, an object of affection to quench your royal fire. How we can set that shit up?
Oh my God.
The Deity song for BMT.
That is hilarious.
There you go, Deity. I gave you your song. So that way, anything else after that, your ass is on your own. So.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what's up. So what y'all talking about?
How you full of shit? But I'm just saying. No, we're saying pretty much how the farce that black people, because the title for today is can ADOS run America without white America? Is that possible?
Of course. Well, I'll say it like this, right?
Go ahead.
I believe that we can create our own system. I think if we were to run America, we would for one have to be on code one. And from there you would just learn the intricacies of this system or change it. But yeah, we can definitely run America. We might even change the name of it.
What are you gonna change it to?
I don't know, but I'm just saying it's possible.
What kind?
In America, Namagra,
Whatever you want it to be.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When black people saw Wakanda, mind you, niggas swapping down, that was the idea made by a black person. I could not convince black people that Wakanda was made by a white man, but they literally believed that was, mind you, that was a Jewish man at that, but they believed that Wakanda was a stolen idea for black people. That it was stolen.
So what government would you replace it with, Deity?
I mean, I haven't thought that deep into it. What do you mean? What government? I mean creating your own government. But I'm just saying the bottom line of it is that we could run our own system for sure.
Do you understand how long it took for a democracy to be created?
I don't care. Because see, the thing is that wait a minute. The thing is that we keep going back to white people and their BC times and all that type of stuff. I mean, again, we don't have to keep focusing on what they did, how they did it, and so forth if we want to create our own. The question is just simple. Can ADOS run America? And I mean, we pretty much built this motherfucker, so I don't see why we wouldn't be able to run it.
Well, it's a big difference between having hired labor and having an engineer.
Well, money.
No, yes. It's know-how. It's know-how and talent.
So here's the thing. Let me explain something to you. These large corporations that these white people create that come out of Silicon Valley, they're stealing other people's ideas and so forth. These people are not running their businesses. They have other people that run the business. They just put their name on it and take the credit for the shit. That's also in the 48 laws of power. You sit back and let somebody else do the work and you get the credit. If the person built it, don't you think they know how it runs? Now, what you're saying is something that is very that again, it's white supremacist talking points. Okay.
Deity, Deity.
What's up?
Why do you always say that every time something's different, it's white supremacist?
No, I'm not saying that every time something is different that is white supremacist talking points. But what I'm saying is that when people are always trying to hold on.
Okay. Let me ask you one question. Why do you believe that black people solely built this country? Why can't you say different people have built this country?
Different people like who?
I mean, we had Jews. And,
listen, well, yeah, we are the Jews. Yeah, we are the Jews.
What do you mean we? No, listen, we ain't no damn Jews. Like, I can tell you right now, we ain't Jews. We far from that.
We're Israelites. We're God's chosen people. Now, not everybody wants to.
Not
everybody.
Deity, are you walking around in sandals right now?
Huh?
You walk around in sandals?
Well, I'm from Miami, so we do wear sandals in Miami. Yeah.
Never mind.
Man, I hate to interrupt, man, but God, dog, that comment is so funny, man.
What,
could you imagine that BMT if your governor was the GOAT?
I'm gonna go ahead and start a mutiny. I'm gonna go ahead and start a fucking mutiny.
Oh man. I
So
realize
when I was saying white supremacist talking points, when you have black people that infer that black people can't do anything, that is a white supremacist talking point. When you try to use white people's rhetoric and their system and their laws and trying to understand their shit and then try to compare your creations to theirs, that's a white supremacist situation.
well, nah, I don't think it has anything to do with white supremacists. It has to do with I asked you a simple question of, you know what? Okay, if that was to be the case of, you know, black people running this country,
Mhm.
how would you do it? And then you stated to me, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing, Coon.
We would just make up something. I mean,
Right.
countries
But here's
aren't run that way.
Yeah, but the question
Countries
that
aren't
you're
run that
asking,
way.
you're not even asking what the whole you asking me that question is not even logical. Because this country wasn't ran by just one person, nor were the laws implemented by just one person.
Correct.
Right? And so you're asking me right on the spot as one person, on top of that, as a female, how would I run this country? That
No,
in
I would
itself
say, well,
is irrational.
I said, what would be the replacement government?
Our black queen.
Well, you just asked me about running the country, and earlier you did ask me about the government, but
Yeah, what would be the replacement? Because you obviously don't want to go by the Constitution because the Constitution has been created by white people. So you would need to have some type of code in order to get everybody on the same page.
Well, see, the
What
thing
would
is
that be?
that people follow behind the money. You know what I'm saying? And so, one thing that white people understand, even if they don't like each other, they understand that there's a system in place for them to be protected and for them to be financially secure. Right? So, if the shoe was on the other foot, we wouldn't have any problems being connected. But the reason why black people are disconnected is because they don't see any benefit. So, the first thing is that you would have to see benefit. I mean, we could talk all day, but if a person doesn't see how this can, help their household and keep them from being out on the streets, if they don't chuck and jive and act like a house nigga, they're gonna do what they gotta do. They're gonna bypass this whole black talk because they don't see any benefit in it. I mean, they don't see the motherfuckers don't care about the fact that they can go out in the sun and not get skin cancer, or at least at a high rate like white people. They don't see the benefits in their natural um, privilege. They only
Right.
see being able to feed themselves. So the first thing is offering something. You cannot start a movement if a motherfucker don't see how they can get anything from it. You know what I'm saying? You might be able to spark somebody with a voice. If your voice is powerful and you're passionate, you might be able to spark something in a motherfucker. But then that flame will die the fuck out as soon as they turn this shit off or they walk out of the meeting or whatever, because they don't see how it benefits them. You feel me?
Right, because they have no
Now,
stability.
correct. Exactly. So stability doesn't come from talking
No,
about.
not stability, not stability, civility. The ability to be able to understand that I do not need a benefit if I know that this is going
Well, see,
to
that's
help,
me.
is if that is going to help the whole.
Right. See, that's me. That's a person like me.
But if you have individuals that are smart enough to understand that, you don't have to have
See, I
a
can show
benefit.
regard to somebody else. You feel what I'm saying? I won't say that I'm what do you call those people?
But if you're dealing with people who are more animalistic, then yeah, you have to show them meat for them to pull the wagon.
I'm
No, well,
going down
not.
Miami.
Well, see, the thing is that I don't know any real altruistic individual, right? See, the only reason why, for me, I'll put it like this, right? I might not like you, Coon, right? I might not like you at all. But the understanding is that if every black person was under attack in this system, which we are, but I'm just saying if it was like a microscopic type of attack, meaning they were just literally it was a real war out here and they were just killing us off one by one, I'm going to stick with you. Because if they kill you, that means that they'll get to me. Shit, if I'm the only black person alive, and then if whatever problems, we need to handle that bullshit first with these people. But then whatever problems that we have between us, then we can address that shit. I might knock your ass off. You feel me? Or you might knock me off, whatever the fuck. But the thing is that black people don't see that how beneficial it is for us to stick together, because we're not at a microscopic war. You feel me? Our issues are spread the fuck out. You got killings in Texas, but then you got a motherfucker over here in California living good for the moment. You feel me? So they don't feel that as you said, civility, or they don't feel that need right then and there to do anything about anything because they living good, or at least in their mind, until they get offed. You know what I'm saying? And then we talk about Black Lives Matter for that motherfucker.
Okay, so where are these individuals that are of the, what you would say, of the upwardly mobile class that individuals have to go march for?
Can you what's the question, because it's not making any sense, or maybe I'm hearing it wrong. What did you say again?
Okay, where are the non-thugs, the upwardly mobile class that Black Lives Matter has to inject themselves into some type of situation? Could you name the names of these individuals?
Well, I'm an upwardly mobile Black person. You feel what I'm saying? And before I got to a situation where I didn't have to, well, I never had to work, but no, seriously. But before I got to a situation where I really didn't have to, and I had to face certain discriminations on the job or whatever the case may be, I can't say Black Lives Matter.
What did they do to you, Deity? What was it?
No. Listen, not well. See, again, I think every Black person. But let me answer his question first. But every Black person faces discrimination. But what I'm saying is that, let's say, for instance, you have to deal with some type of discriminatory situation on your job. You're going to want to reach out to either the EEOC or the NAACP or something to that effect. The difference is that getting murdered gets plastered on TV. You see that. Being discriminated against because of a job or housing or something like that, that isn't so much. Specifically, when a person has money, they can just move on, right? But when a person is financially disenfranchised and you discriminate on them or against them with housing or something like that, that may be more of something that you would see, because these people really have no other choice. When you are can you hear me, Coon?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. When you have money, you can move. You can get away from a negative situation. You don't have to deal with racism in the same way.
Deity, let me move down to Miami with you.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do. Money talk. You feel me? Like, I'm gonna give you an example. Yeah, when I was going to a college in Miami, I had racist professors, but I didn't get financial aid. My parents paid out of pocket.
Wow.
So if a professor was racist, you couldn't fuck up.
So I guess white supremacy didn't work on your parents.
Damn.
Well, of course it did. I mean, they have to work. I mean, they didn't get to the point to where they got because they were pro-Black, no, or for Blackness per se. It just benefited me.
So you're benefiting from their cooning.
Absolutely.
Wait.
So she comes from she comes from a family of coons, and she's benefiting from the family of coons. She stated that she had all of these advantages in life based upon the efforts of coons, but she hates coons. Okay.
Well, see, here's the thing. Let me explain this to you. Every Black person who is not an entrepreneur, and even before then, if you work on somebody's job, even if you're so-called pro-Black, you're going to bend. That's just what it is. Whether you are doing so consciously or unconsciously, and when I say consciously, whether you have a goal to get out of that situation and you just doing it for the time being because you know this is what you got to do, or you're doing it because you've just been broken down that much and you feel like this is what you are supposed to do. Either way, you're going to bend. That's just what it is in corporate America. Every Black person has to do that.
So basically, your entire outlook on life has been paid for in full by coons.
Again, I'm not answering that question. It has nothing to do with this situation. That has nothing to do with the topic.
Your whole lifestyle, it comes from benefiting from the sacrifice of coons.
The point of it is, I just explained how that go. Now, if you want to pinpoint a particular person, then you do that in your own mind and in your own time. But what I'm saying is, any Black person.
And to answer Super Mike's question in the chat, yes, I am Supreme King Coon. I do answer to Coon. I am a Coon. I always will be a Coon. You find that funny? That's fine. But I do not go along with individuals that feel pleasure in calling themselves niggas.
Now here's the thing about it. Now I want to take it back because I see this dialogue is starting to pick up on some heat. I told you Deity will come in once she gets her battle music playing. She picks up her speed. What resource do you, Queen Deity, what resource do you have to rile up the black masses to banner together? Because mind you, for a military unit to come together from as a soldier perspective, they offer healthcare benefits and as well as a lot of money. Like for me, for one day, I usually pull in $1,700 to $2,100. Now, unless you're offering that kind of stipend, then that's gonna be something you would have to find a way to get black people to banner under you. Now, the civil rights movement, their motivation to fight was, guess what? Healthcare. They wanted housing. They wanted things that they knew that we're not all going to make it, but for those who do make it, this is the end game goal. So I would ask you, being that these things have already been given to them by this system, set up by the white man, what could you offer them that could top what the white man or the white system has already given them?
What could I offer my race?
Yes. Yes.
Nothing that has been given to her.
Currently, I can't physically, tangibly offer a black person anything. You're asking me.
No, I'm just saying, like, if it was something where you and the people were sitting down talking, you would have to have something to wean a person off of one system. Y'all to understanding that? Like, you got to have one reason of a system to wean people to leave that system. Like, if I got it good where I'm at.
I said, and I explained that earlier. I mean, it's one thing to talk, right? And then he mentioned the word civility. Is one thing to talk about it. But then it's another thing. Again, people don't want to rally behind something that they can't see will benefit their everyday circumstance. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't understand that. Me personally, I'll give you an example. If every black person had their mind right, one thing we could do is we could just go ahead and get a whole bunch of fucking water and these little, you know how when a person is preparing for a storm, go ahead and do that. You know what I'm saying? If black people was really on code, use this internet shit or this TV shit and put out there, look, go out there and buy you all get you a whole lot of water, a whole lot of little canned goods or whatnot. Stop paying your bills all at the same motherfucking time. If every black person got on code in that way, you feel what I'm saying? If every black person got on code in that way, then we would see a change. We will be able to make demands because they would see how powerful our dollar is, how powerful our presence is. The issue is that black people want to be given something from the same group of people that don't have the same thing that they don't have. People, and that's not going to happen. You feel what I'm saying? If I keep looking for another black person to give me something that this system has that I know they don't have to give, we'll never get out of the matrix. But again, it takes a person that really hates this system to want to go against it. If you're comfortable in any way, you ain't gonna do nothing about it. I will say for me, I never had to struggle financially. I never saw or had to deal with a certain level of oppression in the sense of, oh, because I'm black, I can't have these things, or because I'm black, I see white people and I reverence them. I never had that problem because I did come from a wealthy situation as a black person. So therefore, when I speak, I can speak a little freely about these things because I don't have to worry about what a white person or a white system thinks. You feel what I'm trying to say? And that's the freedom of not having to be so dependent directly on the system.
Which was gifted to you by two other individuals that did bend the knee.
Those are my parents, though, regardless of their situation. They're my parents. But the point of what I'm saying is that I understand that a lot of black people are not privileged with that situation because, see, there's a difference when you are born into money versus when you get it as an adult or in your teens. There's a difference.
Right. So
black people are not born into money. unless they
Right.
have celebrity parents or they're back in jails or bootlegs or whatever.
So basically,
bootleg.
basically, under your plan, you would have it to where I don't gift my children the lifestyle that you had. They should go under some pro-black thing of, you know what, we need to know what it is to suffer and do it out for this major cause, that and hope that everybody else comes on board.
Coon, let me give you a point,
That's
or
BS.
give you an example.
God damn it.
There was, the Corinne Gaines, the light-skinned chick who went against the police and they shot her down in Baltimore.
Now, are you going to tell the full story? Don't just do that now. Don't.
No. I'm not even going to go into the story itself, but I'm just asking you, do you know about the story?
No.
Okay, so Corinne Gaines was really on some, fuck this system type shit. You crackers ain't finna have me out here like no goddamn slave. So she went against the system in a certain extent, even put up filed a complaint against the city of Baltimore, going through that whole thing. Make a long story short, they ended up killing her in her home with her son there or whatever.
You ain't told the whole story right.
No,
tell it right. What did she do?
No, they ended up.
That's okay. Just let it tell.
I'm not trying to go into the whole. I'm not trying to go in depth, but because I'm trying to get to a point. So, anyways, they killed her and was going to offer her child, a settlement, or her family rather, but her child was going to get, in particular, was going to get a settlement of like $3 million. But then they wanted to retract that. And before they went ahead and decided to retract that, I told my homeboy, I said, yo, they not finna give this lady, her child, this money, because what that will do is take him out of the cyclical poverty and rat race that almost every black person in America is in, trying to maintain, trying to survive. He would be set. Not only would he be set, but as if his mother was a radical, what this country would call it, if she was on that fuck these cracker shit, you give money to a child who, first of all, that's the reason why people go to school. He don't never got to go to school for real. You know what I'm saying? And ain't no telling where his mother got that mindset. So if somebody teaches this young black male to fuck these crackers, and then on top of that, you are a millionaire, by the time this person gets 25 and he flips that money, he'll be able to spread that to other black people. So
how can he flip money if he doesn't understand how to use it?
Because you can be taught. He's only 6. That's what I'm saying.
Taught by who?
So listen, man. So the point of what I'm saying is this: you're not going to want to give money to a group of people just freely without them struggling for it and realizing that they could easily lose it. You don't want to give money to a group of people that have the mind to uprise. You don't want to do that. That's rare. You see what I'm saying? That's the reason why most black people are struggling to get money.
Now, hang on. Now, okay.
The majority of black people are not.
Most black people are living check to check.
No, we're middle class. Majority of black people are middle class.
Oh my God!
Now hold on. Now let's go back to that Corinne story. Mm-hmm. First off, she had her tags were expired.
Yeah, that's not the point. The point is that she was killed and that they didn't want to give her child that much money.
Hang on. Before we jump to that, literally the cop said, "Listen, man, you cannot move this vehicle. You have to get out." And I'm not trying to. No. Listen, I listened to you. I did not say anything. I was very patient. When she got out the vehicle, she didn't want to get out the vehicle. Her son said he is being nice. She said, no, he's not. He's a white devil. He's a cracker. She told all that to her son. Y'all can go ahead and look up the video. Literally, the guy asked her. The cop was so damn nice, asking her to get out the car. She didn't want to get out the car. Then after that, they came with more cops and said, listen, you got to get out the car. You have an infant in there and you have a child in there. You have to get out the car. She's like, I do not conform to the laws of this state, as the Moors want to say it. And we already know those laws don't fucking work. I don't know why y'all keep saying that dumb shit. However, they said, listen, you're going to have to get out. You live literally right around the corner. You only have to walk 25 yards back to your house. She did not want to do that shit. So guess what? They forced her out of the car. She put up a fight, so they said, okay, we're gonna have to come take the kids. Mm-hmm. Now, she barricaded herself in with a shotgun with her infant and also her son and also her baby daddy, who normally had beat her, who wasn't supposed to be around.
Yeah, but the
Hey, BMT, I gotta head out.
Okay, that's good.
One more. I'll check with you later, man.
Okay, that's what's up. Now the thing about it was as you told the story,
mm-hmm.
I lost respect for her when she was trying to use her kids as a human shield. See, that right there was bullshit because she said, "You're gonna have to kill me," and the father literally took his kid, not her other child, and went out the window. He was like, "Fuck that! You're not getting my kids killed. You know, you're not getting my kid killed."
Right, but see,
why did she use her other child as a shield?
Here's the thing: we don't know that happened. You're only going by what this white media told you.
Actually, the father even said that.
The point of what I'm saying is this: in order for Black people to uprise, not just rise, because we've already risen, but we still got a glass system. In order for Black people to uprise, you have to first and foremost, you got to really love who you are, man. You know what I'm saying? You really have to love who you are. Not only do you have to love who you are, but you got to also understand war and military. When they go after your mans, they're going after you too. When they go after somebody that look like you, they're going after you too. You know what I'm trying to say? But again, we're so complacent. As people, we're too complacent. And complacency get us nowhere. It gets us nowhere.
But why did you skew the story of her?
I didn't skew the story. I was getting to the point.
No. You did a feel-good preach as her as a hero when you didn't tell about her using the kid.
Listen, I didn't care what she did or how that happened. Clearly,
whoa. No, that's giving a false narrative.
Here's the thing. Clearly, they knew that BMT. Listen, clearly they knew they were in the wrong, which is the reason why they went ahead and wanted to pay her family off. You understand what I'm saying?
They hit the child. The child got shot.
They killed this lady unjustified.
No. They killed the lady. They ain't wrong with that. She did shoot at them.
No. Listen, here's the thing. There was this white guy that was doing some military bombing shit. They had robots go in this motherfucker's house and get. The point of what I'm trying to say is,
how do you know all that?
You look it up. The point of what I'm saying is this.
I just told you that the father testified on her.
What people have to understand, what Black people have to understand, you gotta stop looking for problems in your own race when you got motherfuckers that's killing you because you're of your race. You already got targets on your back. Now, I'm not saying you gotta love every Black person. That would be foolish. That would be insane. But what I am saying is you gotta stop looking to find a problem with your own race of people. Now, I can't change nobody. We can't change nobody. That's a reality. I'm not trying to change no motherfucking body, but for the people that want to listen, you could listen, and you could, and the people that don't, fall the fuck back. But what I'm saying is, there's no way that you could hate being Black. I hate Black people that look past the shit that other Black people do. Ain't nobody looking past the shit that other Black people do.
So wait. If you're not looking past that shit, then why did you look past her using a child as a shield?
Let me tell you something. You don't know that happened.
Yeah, I do.
But what I'm saying is this.
The father testified against her.
What I'm saying is this. When you are constantly looking, and if she was using her child as a shield, which that is a fallacy, because if she was using her child as a shield, the child would have been dead. Because she clearly
the child got shot. The child got shot because of her. What mother would hold her child while holding a gun? While knowing that other guns are pulled,
you people, listen, let me tell you something, dog.
You can't do this with somebody who's military trained.
Black people with a white mind.
That's not a Black person. That's a parent. That's a parent.
You hate yourself so bad that you can't see that they was.
Have you ever? Okay, I got a question. I got a question, Deity. If somebody pointed, let's say you had a child in your hand.
That's not the fucking point. I'm not.
No. Let me ask you how much you care for Black people. If somebody pointed a gun at you while you hold a child,
trying to test me on that one simple question.
No. Why not? Why not? You're for Black people. If somebody pointed a gun at you while you was holding a child in your hand, and they said you could put the child down, would you do it?
Listen.
Or would you use that child as a shield?
Don't try to antagonize me.
I'm just asking you a simple question, ma'am.
Okay. Now, what I'm saying is this.
So that means
Bottom
yes.
line is for the black people out there that know who you are, that love who you are, and that understands that you're in a system that is trying to oppress you and still to this day oppress you. The first thing that you need to do is remove yourself from black people who don't give a fuck about being black, who want to blame you for everything, and who want to make you feel as though you're crazy. You live in a system that is trying to oppress you because of your race, the color of your skin, you, being who you are. That's what you first and foremost you got to do. Remove yourself from black people like that. You know what I'm saying? Because every black person ain't for you. Just like we understand that this white system is against us, there are some black people that's against you too. That's bottom the fuck line. You know what I'm saying? Every black person is not going to be for your benefit. And neither are they going to be willing to see the problems that you go through. They're just going to say, well, you know, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. I had to work. I had to kiss ass and suck dick. I had to chuck and jive. So you should do the same thing too. Get the fuck out of here.
So what about people who sell drugs and do things and rape?
What about the motherfucking government?
No. I want to ask about the people that are on ground level that can affect me first. Don't look past them.
Come on, the white system has affected you first.
I don't know if a white. Okay, so let's say a guy who doesn't give a fuck about how many bitches he fucked, but he makes multiple babies, but he doesn't take care of his kids. Which one do you think that kid gives more of a fuck about, the system or that father who's not presently in the home?
Well, let me flip the script.
No, don't flip that. Let's stick to that one right there.
Let me flip the script on that.
Why?
You have white people that commit crimes every day.
No. Let's talk about black people. Let's keep it for black people. We're talking about a community.
No, because you want to have a white mind, so I'm going to talk on the people.
White mind? What's a white mind? I'm talking about as a black father.
What I'm saying is, you have white people that commit crimes every day, and they deal with other white people.
All right, hey, Mo, you got some stuff on the background. What's going on?
You got these white criminals that deal with white lawmakers, and these white criminals get off because that's white supremacy. They stick together. Now, I'm not saying justify anything, but what I am saying, I'm not saying justify anything that's like pedophilia, rapists, murderers, and shit. I'm not saying justify that. But when you're talking about a motherfucker,
what about drug dealers?
When you're talking about people that sell drugs and shit like that, understand the circumstance. No, I'm not.
There's no circumstance for that.
I'm not going to penalize no black person who sells drugs. No.
Wow. You're not?
I'm not going to penalize them in a sense where, oh, you're completely unforgiving. You don't know their circumstance.
Wait. You're not going to penalize Mo. Are you here? Do you hear that?
You're
not going to penalize somebody for selling drugs.
I'm not going to penalize them indefinitely. No.
But if they sold drugs that could possibly cause a woman to have an abortion or
the pharmacy sells drugs every day.
No.
What do you mean? No.
You're trying to go. Actually, a lot of black people don't even have health insurance. So let's kick it there. Because a lot of young black mothers are on Blue Cross.
You have to have health insurance to get
You gotta have health insurance. Now you're talking about big pharma, right? You're talking about the farm. You're talking about big pharma. Now, if that was the case, then the opioid crisis that is affecting more so white people than black people.
The point of what I'm saying is this.
No. You skip past my point. Because I'm already tracking your ass on that one.
Black people to make your claim as to say fuck black people.
No, I'm actually saying fuck those niggas. We're not
talking about degenerate people. That's common sense.
Why not? Why are we not talking about those people?
Why would you need to if the whole point is to uplift your people?
Well, guess what? To uplift our people, we would have to say fuck those people and actually be accountable for those other people.
That's common sense.
Okay, then why did you say you are fine with black people who sell drugs and that's a circumstance?
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
But the point of what I'm saying is, why would you keep trying to find negatives in your race of people? Do you hate being black that bad?
No, I hate niggas that bad.
Niggas. I don't fuck with niggas. More white folk did shit for me than niggas have done. Next.
So the thing about it now, Mo, you do prison ministries, correct? And different other stuff. Okay, now. Would you be more concerned about the government or community issues? Which one seems like more of a precedence to you?
the community issues. A lot of times I do go to I'm concerned for the government. I'm concerned about some things going to government, but I'm on both sides. I do things for the black community. I do things, but if they don't want to be helped, I don't help them. I only help that want to be helped.
Right. Now,
and that's what I was saying.
Okay, so if you're saying that, and I'm saying that if we having problems with somebody who is selling drugs right beside a school, I'm not going to say, well, we got to look past that circumstance, because they're selling drugs and kids are going to be looking at that drug dealer as, hey, he's getting fast money, fast cash,
so what's your point,
and I want to be around that.
What's your point to that?
That is a big point, because if they're doing that and they're harming the community, and kids are being influenced by that to want to do that, and young girls are seeing that guy right there is a provider, that's a problem.
My nigga, you're talking about degenerates of your race. Every race has degenerates, but they also practice unification.
But you just called me somebody who's not a degenerate a coon.
You are. If all you can do is talk about
your mom and dad a coon?
Your race is.
So is your mom and dad? Is your mom and dad a coon?
We're talking about you. They're not here.
No. But I want to ask you. But your mom and dad, I don't do nothing to my community.
All you can do is talk about the negatives of your community. Then you are you're not better than any person who physically does negative things to their community.
Negative. Actually, I talk about positive stuff.
Parasite. You're still a parasite. You're a parasite.
Okay, so what is your
about positive about blackness and black people since I've been on this motherfucker? You're not a white.
Well, I mean, only thing you talked about, you tried to talk about the Catherine thing. But you lied about that. You lied about the Catherine thing. You lied about another narrative, the other show.
Situation, my nigga. Come on, get the fuck out.
I mean, come on, my nigga. I mean, if you're gonna be a whole nigga, I'm gonna just tear you up and just treat you like a nigga. Like, the thing about it, if you're gonna come on a panel and say something that's false, you best believe we're gonna get your ass on that shit. Like, don't think you're gonna say some pro-black crazy shit and think that it's not gonna have like no kind of feedback. I don't know how the fuck you think you do shit on Derell, but also here on BMT, we fact check things. Just like Sheila Jackson thing, you know, Sheila Jackson was born.
If everything is going to be pushback, there's no need.
No. I give you pushback. I'm giving you that pushback.
There's no, but pushback on what though? For me saying black people need to be
bullshit narrative.
For me saying that black people need to be unified, how can you find a problem with that if you're not the fucking problem?
So I got a question. Tell me what. Okay, I want you to tell me right now, in my personal life, what do I do that's a problem to black people?
If I'm saying the basis in the beginning of my conversation was talking about how black people need to be unified, you keep talking about thugs, drug dealers, killers, and murder. Every fucking race has that. But there's something that they also practice. Fuck the degenerates. Let's unify for the motherfuckers that can at least either hide their degeneracy, but band together so that our community as a whole can benefit. You know what I'm saying? Therefore, even a fucking white crackhead benefits from white supremacy because that white man that is not a fucking crackhead has set the system up so powerful that anybody that is white benefits. Fuck what you're talking about. I'm not talking about always.
Let me ask that question. No, let's ask that question. I don't want you going to rant. Mo, you deal with white people also, right? I'm just asking you right now. Mo, do you deal with white people also, right? Do the white people on your channel, do they support crackheads or anybody?
We ain't talking about no individual. We talking about a system, man.
No. Okay, no. Because honestly, I don't see now. I've watched. I mean, I know you don't live in the South, but you live in Miami. White cops beat the shit out of trailer trash people.
You said I don't live in the South because I don't live in Miami.
You live in Miami. I know. No. Listen, what I'm saying. I know you got your brain tuned off. You live in Miami. Right?
Oh, you said I know you don't live in the South because you live in Miami.
Correct. Isn't that what you said yesterday? That Miami's not.
No, that is not what I said.
You said that yesterday.
No, that is not what I said. That's you're twisting.
Do you want me to play that? Do you want me to play that?
Last said that you were suicidal, and then try to say that you were not. You never said you were suicidal.
No. I've had my suicidal episode.
Correct. So you can't help nobody.
Oh, I can't help nobody.
If you're trying to kill
you want me to pull up? Hang on. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that right there. Because it's natural for pro-blacks to try to pinpoint and lie and twist words. That's a natural thing.
Pro-blacks, the fuck out of here! You sound like
aren't you pro-black? Aren't you a pro-black?
And what are you?
I'm not pro-black.
Right. No wonder. This is the reason why you hate talking about anything positive for black people.
That's funny. I just literally did a show talking for John Witherspoon. Have you?
Listen.
Have you done anything talking about the concept of the John Witherspoon?
You do know what pro-black means, correct? We went through this yesterday.
No, you actually, your definition was false.
No, it's not. Anybody that's out there that's listening, you can type in pro-black, that's it, in Google with the words together, pro and black, and you'll get the definition.
What's the
if
definition?
You're not a person that wants to engage in dialogue and conversation that empowers your people, you are a fuck nigga and a parasite.
Now let's go ahead and look that up.
You are a parasite.
Let's go ahead and look
let me walk you through it since you don't know how to do it.
No. Hang on. Right here. We got it right here. Pro-black. There we go. We don't need niggas to just there we go. Hey,
no, you idiot.
There you go. Pro-black right there.
Why so angry, woman? Why so angry with the name call? Like that?
She's a black woman. That's honestly what black.
Listen,
pro-black
type in pro-black. Take the word meaning.
You are an angry black woman.
And you're a homosexual.
You are an ABW. You are angry black. You call names you don't even know. How you know I'm a homosexual? But I know you're an angry black woman.
You are a homosexual.
Oh, there you
how
go.
You know I'm homosexual? Right. Have you seen this fucking nigga that
type in pro and black together. I'm not finna hold
you see how these ABWs they come with the trolling name calling.
That is not the definition of pro-black. Like, there you go again. It does not. That is not it at all. Like, I can keep on. It never comes up like that. I literally put it in pro-black, like literally keeps coming up nothing of what you said. So the thing about it is
you have not came with no facts, woman.
She has not. She has not.
She's just an angry black woman, bitter black woman. I'm gonna call her that.
Well, the thing about it, Mo, and as we listen to a lot of these type of people, they talk about, well, selling drugs is a circumstance type of thing, but I would call that would be accountability, because you know what you're doing, and you gotta own up to that.
Yep.
That's the thing about it. I get y'all like to talk about white supremacy, and we understand that there are forms of supremacy out there. However, it's more detrimental if I, as a black person, do harm to Mo, who's another black man. I think that would be more fucked up. Mo was very honest about, I did some shit back in my past. And he said, I owned up to that shit. Why is it so hard if we're black people, why is it so hard for us to hold accountability? See, I can play back the audio recordings of the shit that she said. But see, when it comes to black accountability and actually being able to own up to the fuck shit that you say, black people don't, when they start turning off that accountability shit, y'all make it seem like we be overlooking people that be doing shit to our doggone. She did ran away.
She got triggered. Triggered ABW. That's what I'm calling her. She triggered. Because she came with some dumbass name calling I'm a homosexual, and she never seen me suck no dick. She don't know I'm never seen me fuck nobody in the ass. So how you know I'm homosexual? But we know she's an angry black woman.
Well, that's something that a lot of black. That's on. No, I agree with you, Fabrizio. The gay name calling comes out. Like, that's something that we see a lot of black people try to do. They try to attack other black people by calling them gay, the F words, all kind of shit to slander or discredit them. Now you can go ahead and do that. You know what I'm saying? You can go ahead and do that. And the thing about it is, I mean, brother, I've always welcomed you on the panel. Of course, she's bitter with all these symbols around. Now, if that was the case, she just told you, and I want you to hear this, Mo. She came from a household where her parents worked for the state, the VA hospital, that she had her school paid for by her parents. But yet she's talking about the struggle that other black people have gone through.
Yeah.
Do you think people from the streets that you came from or where I've been through, you think that literally they would respect her, being that she came from a more higher, humble beginning?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand, why do we always try to make it where I don't understand why we try to make it where everyone can get triggered, guys. Yeah, no. She can get triggered, but when you start going to the name calling, understand that, mind you, Mo didn't call her a bitch. I didn't call her a bitch. Nobody called her name. You see, you got to give some to take some. You don't be talking no cash shit. And see, this is the problem why a lot of black people ain't ready for that elevation of power. She told y'all a narrative.
Cynthia G doesn't do that bullshit. Cynthia do that bullshit, call people idiots. She does that bullshit too.
Y'all gotta understand, man, and I want you to understand this as black people. When you start telling stories in narrative and people fact check you, and then you so easily, because it's a fucking woman, go with the narrative that somebody told you something, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You're an idiot. And this is why these different types of groups easily play on the feeling of black people. Mo will tell you, listen, Mo, how often do they try to fuck with your channel? How often do they try to fuck with you because you don't play by what they tell you to say?
I get flagged. I got 3 strikes before. You know, that's why I'm sitting here with 3 channels. You know, they got me because I made a video and said, "Do you know what a coon or Uncle Tom really?" Explained it, and they took me and flagged me and gave me a strike for that. And because I'm making a quote, what they call me a coon, but they say I shouldn't use that word coon, but they use it all the time. You know, I swear it's a protection on these angry black women. There's a protection on for some reason. I see it. I know what it is.
Like I said,
this is what motherfuckers want. There's a protection on these angry black women. They are protected.
Like I said, simping ain't over here, bro. Simping's not over here. If y'all think that we gonna give a fuck for just because you a fucking woman and you gonna say some dumb shit and that we gonna let that shit fly, fucking no. Equal opportunity in this motherfucker. Y'all can take your ass to over there to any of them other goddamn back Quan channels. I told her after I played her little fucking goddamn theme song, oh, that shit was gone. You in the goddamn wolves den. Take a deep breath. This is like I said, this is why a lot of black people, when it comes to having political talks, racial debates, niggas don't get invited to that shit.
No.
They don't.
Hell no.
Y'all called Kanye a sellout. Yet him and his wife had pushed the deal. What is it? The new deal. What was the thing for to help get your uncle out? It was the First Step Act that had gotten more black men.
Yes, the First Step Act. I got a testimony with that.
And mind you, that was from Trump.
Man. First Step Back.
Now, I'm not sure how many of y'all have had
Trump
have gotten somebody out of incarceration, but I could have sworn that y'all were calling Kanye Coon.
First Step Back, man. First Step Back, man.
The First Step Act. Go ahead and look that up.
26 years. Saw him yesterday.
One day I would love to have the honor to call
26 years. Saw
on your show.
Because the First Step Back, he's supposed to be like.
Oh no, I walk you, man.
He 81 and he's out. You know. So.
Like I mean,
what y'all know about this?
Like, I welcome you on my channel, man. Yep.
Do they know what them 3 strikes come from? BMT?
Huh?
Can you hear me?
See the thing? Yeah, I can hear you, brother. I can hear you.
They didn't lose me.
No, I didn't lose you, brother. I didn't lose you. Y'all don't understand, but y'all all calling. No, I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Let me try to come back out because I don't hear nothing.
Like I said, man, y'all can keep on with these fucking narratives of shit that y'all want to go by, man. I wonder does she call her family coons? That she just told you, which I'm not sure if y'all caught what Supreme King Coon was saying. Literally, her family allows her to benefit from the same system that she talks shit about. But of course, a lot of y'all don't hear that shit. The father of the girl that she was talking about used her own child as a human meat shield. Now I can ask another father, and I'm gonna ask Mo. Mo,
yo, yeah, hey, bro.
If somebody pointed a gun at you, would you hold your child as a human shield and point the gun right back at the police, or would you try to put your child down?
Man, I put my child down. Put down. Make sure that take me.
See, now most parents like me and Mo would do that off reaction. Hey, take me, just don't hit my child.
Mm-hmm.
That woman did not do that. She used her child as a meat shield.
Mm.
So that's why she won the case. Her child got shot in the car.
That's your legacy, man. That child is your legacy. Can kill you. You're not gonna die. That child is your legacy. I mean, it's a legacy right there, man. You live right through that child. So that's the attitude that we have. You know.
Like I said, man, y'all gotta understand, man. I push for Black accountability. Mo pushes for Black accountability and success.
Right.
We try to help people rehabilitate back into society.
Yep.
I don't want people harming my people.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Mo has women who come on there who talk about being sexually abused, raped, and all that shit.
Yep.
And I sit there and I listen. Now, the thing about it, y'all gonna have to ask yourself is, when are we gonna start calling that shit out as a community? Y'all gonna say we don't need to talk about the degenerates, but I'm gonna pass it over to Mo. Go ahead,
you better
Mo,
preach,
man. No. I'm to them. I'm a coon. I'm a coon. Though me and you have talked more about political, economical, financial strategies to improve Black men and women. I don't need to sell y'all shit, man. Like, listen, BMT is a free Black man. I raise children, run my own business, take care of everything under my watch. Mo is a strong Black man that raises his kids, supports his son, and talks to people about political strengths. I listen, man. Y'all can be stuck on. Mo, you got to come on. Y'all can be stuck on. If y'all want to beat white supremacy, do it by getting your shit together, man. I'm gonna do a talk about that tomorrow. Y'all want to beat white supremacy? Get y'all shit together, man.
Get shit together.
I'm just giving it up. Kids' life is precious. Yeah.
Yes.
I agree, JJ. I agree. Y'all want to beat white supremacy? Do it by getting your shit together.
Mm-hmm.
Do it by actually building something that future generations could actually bank off of.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, man, I mean, these narratives that y'all spew, man, y'all spend more time talking about the white man. I'm gonna tell you right now, the white man don't give a fuck about y'all. He don't. I'm not sure y'all been looking at the political. I'm not sure they've been looking at the political goddamn election going on. The white man ain't talking about you niggas. You know he's trying to get in? He's trying to get the Latino vote. He's trying to get them illegal immigrants across the fucking border because the Black man has already been replaced. I'm sorry to tell y'all, but you've already been replaced. Paco, Jesus, and Maria and Josephine have already replaced you niggas.
Next.
So you are no longer the much needed vote like you think you are. Y'all want to talk about collectivism? Listen, y'all need to learn. Y'all better start getting some doggone. Y'all better get y'all shit together, man.
Get it together.
Y'all worried about pussy. Y'all worried about doggone white supremacy. Y'all worried about doggone everything else. But that shit won't matter if you don't have nothing to go back to. Y'all don't. I mean, are y'all talking about Black families like that? I get it that y'all want. I get it. Like she wanted to bring up about me talking about suicide. Yes, as a veteran, I dealt with suicide. I'm not ashamed to talk about that. You can't shame me in me talking about suicide. Why? Because I am one of the few that beat it. And to say that I can't help nobody, do you know? Let me show y'all this, man. Do you know how many veterans? Hang on, I don't feel like having to show y'all. Do you know how many veterans? Do y'all know how many people battle suicide a day? And usually people who fight and beat the battle of suicide and drug prevention, they usually go talk to those victims. See, I'm not afraid, just like Mo, to talk about our faults. We're not afraid to talk about that shit. Because we know that there are people out there that need to hear it. We know that there are people out there that want to feel like, hey, is there anybody out there who feels what I feel? Not some fucker who never went through the shit that we went through. I would rather Mo, who already had dealt with incarceration and came out and got his shit together, I would rather him, that girl, along with others like her, are in a panic mode because they cannot blame white supremacy on everything anymore. Time's up. No, that's true. Y'all are more focused on white supremacy, but see, I'm focused on things that are hurting the community. What's up, Zardell? Y'all are, listen, man. I work with, majority of the people I work with are black. And we talk about black issues and we talk about accountability. We talk about resources and building and doing shit that can better our people. Let me pull one more down, put up the other one. Now, whatever y'all plan to do and how y'all ever plan to get y'all shit together, that's going to be on y'all. Y'all black people have the power to unfuck yourself. I had a little spat myself now. Hang on, that's 7. That's ZG Topaz. I don't know. I think that's ZG Topaz. I don't know that. Hey, what's going on? So, okay, I think that's Zardo. So, can't hear none of y'all. I had a little spat myself. Now I counsel my inner circle. Everybody gets a call every week. That's my contribution. Shout out to you, JJ. Y'all gotta understand, people out here, there's black people out here who are doing things, helping people. We got mental health issues going on. We got doggone self-esteem, financial issues. We got black people who are doing things to help other people better themselves, man. And if you're not going to be with it to help contribute, how the fuck you talk about taking on supremacy and taking on the world? And again, my question was never answered on what could you offer black people that has not already been put before them that they can have access to or use. But if you don't have shit, then why the fuck would I follow you? Because you look like me? Not gonna work here. But I'm gonna let y'all guys go. I'm gonna roll out. I'm gonna go play some Xbox. Anything you want to say more before we ride out?
You know what? We said enough of y'all. Said enough over here, man. This is a lit hangout, man.
I'm surprised you ain't do your show. You know I'll be right over there.
No, I actually finna do. I actually was postponed. I was over there looking at your shit. I'm actually late.
Well, let me go ahead and drop the music for doggone Mo and all my Coon buddies out here in the world.
All right.
Absolutely nothing. What is good for? What is good for?